The topic I'd like to cover is mainly targeted towards senior leadership, marketing management, sales management, to talk about the possibility of establishing a new communications channel between your sales, marketing, and customer base, and why we think this is important. When your sales team is out there talking to the customers, they'll have certain pieces of information they'd like to retain and use for future reference. Now, even if you've issued them all iPads and you've got the fanciest of presentations, they're going to take and lay a piece of paper across that iPad and take notes, or they're going to try and pull out a recorder, which is certainly awkward, or commit it to memory, which is unreliable, but in some way retain that information. Now, what they do with that information is anyone's guess. And I think my experience is not unique in the fact that that feedback loop from early sales throughout the product sales cycle is maybe lacking a bit. And I think we've got an approach that might be unique and certainly worthwhile to investigate. So you might think about the information that you want from a sales team that's out there launching a new product. Let's say it's capital equipment and it takes 6 months to a year, maybe a year and a half. And in most cases, even with the best sales reporting system, you're only going to get calls per day, who they talk to, maybe some market segmentation. But you're not really talking about what was the specific feedback from a customer the first time they brought up this product to them. What was the information exchanged between the two of them? How did they receive the information? What other actions need to be taken? That sort of thing. My experience is that even with the best of sales reporting tools, it takes quite a while for a prospect to move down the sales funnel before the home team organization gets that type of information. The type of information that you could use to assist the sales team to be more successful, whether it's enhancing sales training, changing brand messaging, or some other approach. Those kind of details typically are lacking. Now, where I come from is a background in a variety of places, so I thought that would be a good way to kind of understand the motivation behind that design of this tool. When I was a sales rep, I'd go out and I would take notes and save them for myself for the next visit for follow-up and make sure that I, did a good job with that. But as far as reports, written reports, I hated it. I didn't want to do them. I didn't think anybody was reading them back at the office, and I didn't see the need for it. So I kind of resisted that. When I became a national sales manager, it was frustrating because those written reports came in, but they were very redundant, they were minimalistic, and certainly not something that I could base changes to a program on. So it was a lot of phone calls, a lot of conversation, nothing with meat that I could build trends off of. Later, as a marketing manager, launching my first product, we spent a lot of time on brand messaging and strategizing how the sales team should approach it. We'd train them, we'd send them out with their literature, and then it would turn quiet. And it might be months before you get some real facts as far as what's going on out in the field, which tended to be rather frustrating because the president would want their monthly report, and we were dealing with pretty minimal information at that time. And wouldn't it be great to be able to get that information on the first visit without burdening the sales rep with providing that information? Then later, as a director of marketing communications for a Fortune 500 company, I really started to think about this communication channel that was lacking. We had some of the best tools as far as Salesforce.com and everything at our fingertips. When it came right down to it, the sales team communicating back to the organization just wasn't happening. We weren't getting the information we needed, and any attempt to try to gather that was usually resisted because it meant more work for them. So that's how we came about our approach, and I wanted to quickly go through that with you. I thought if there was a way that we could build an infrastructure that would be generic enough that a company could manage their own information and decide what was important to them, that it had to be very simple to apply, the sales team had to love using it, and hopefully add some value to the sales team, along with delivering real meat of information back to the marketing organization so that they could close this loop between customer, sales, and marketing. That's what we think we've done with Adafield. Basically, you take your own documents that you have now, you import them. We provide pre-connected data fields that you'll add. Think of it as adding above your document, transparent to the user or to the customer. And what happens is when then the sales rep presents, they interact with these data fields, and by doing so, record the responses back from the customers, what was going on in the account, how they received it, what their interest might be, a variety of things. So that log file continues to go throughout the presentation. This will work with or without an internet connection, and then the next time they sync, it's immediately updated to their desktop application where they can look at summary reports, things like that. Now we've added a few enhancements for the sales team so that, in fact, our goal is to eliminate written reporting entirely. We provide a summary email with the key points that can go out to a customer the same day. If that customer comes back and views the included link of the presentation that they viewed, the sales rep would be notified that they took a look at it. So it's really about communicating back and forth between customers, sales, and marketing. If marketing needs to add some information or ask a question or enhance some information, they can do it at the desktop application, distribute it out to the sales team immediately. It'll all be updated automatically. So we've tried to provide a tool that you can take and deploy to your sales team within a day. You can sign up your sales team, add your documents, add your fields, and get started collecting data immediately. So hopefully it interests you to find out a little bit more. We'd ask you to go to Adafield.com, try our 15-day free trial, and thanks for listening.